Hi, Jenni here, and in this video I will talk about my Jane Austen collection in a very, very detailed manner. So grab a beverage, let's do this. So at first I thought I would do this in a chronological order, but then after the few first books that I got by Jane Austen, the timelines get a bit blurry. But I'll start with the books that I first got, and then I'll just tell the origin story of each of them and what makes them special and so on and so forth. The first one I ever got was this edition, and it's Ylpeys ja ennakkoluulo, which is Pride and Prejudice in Finnish. It has been translated by Sirkka-Liisa Norkoturja. I got this when I was 15. I had read Pride and Prejudice and Sense and Sensibility prior to buying this. I borrowed an edition that had both of those books in one from the school library in middle school, and then I got this edition, and I love it. I love the colors on it. I do have to say that the spacing is quite small here. Maybe one. Could have been 1.5. But yes, this is the book that started it, or the edition that started it, my collection. In 2013, when I started high school in the city, I would visit the bookstore in the city center after school. And then in August or September 2013, around that time, they had these Collins Classics paperbacks on sale, and they were €3.90 each. That would never happen nowadays. But yes, they had most of Jane Austen's books in Collins Classics editions. I bought these all at the same time, and I was really excited. I have to say, of all of these, Persuasion is my favorite. I absolutely love the illustration here. But yeah, the spine is quite stiff, and the font is very small. But yeah, so that's Persuasion. Here's Northanger Abbey. I'm not too fond of the cover, but I think it fits the story well, but I feel like it could be better. Another cover from Collins Classics that I really love, Sense and Sensibility. I love the painting here, and yeah, it fits the mood of the book really well. And then the last one is Emma. It's a painting, I think, or an illustration, but it looks very realistic compared to the other covers that had paintings. When Joel and I did our Emma reading together, Joel read this edition, and he did struggle a little bit with the small font and the stiff spine. So yeah, this one's really special to me. It's my first English copy of Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. I went on a school trip in 2015, so 9 years ago, to Rome. And I don't remember the train station's name anymore, but this train station was almost kind of a shopping mall as well, and they had a bookstore there. And that's where I got this Wordsworth Classics edition of Pride and Prejudice. I love it so much. It has beautiful illustrations. Another one. And yeah, it's such a great memory of getting this book while being 18, visiting Rome with my friends. Yeah, I love this one. These two I just bought at a grocery store maybe like 8-7 years ago. Here we have Persuasion in Finnish, Viisasteleva sydän, and it's been translated by Kristiina Kivivuori. I like the aesthetic here, kind of flowy, feathery, flowery illustration here. It doesn't really say much about the story, but it is a lovely, lovely cover. And then another one is a collection of letters and unfinished stories. It's called Uskollinen ystävänne, Your Faithful Friend. And it's been translated by Inkeri Koskinen. I like the blue here. It's very similar to Persuasion in Finnish, that there is this lovely, beautiful, feathery, flowery type of illustration, but it doesn't really tell anything about the story. So those were the ones that I purchased early on when I learned about Jane Austen. Now my timeline gets a bit blurry, so bear with me. This is the Chartwell Classics edition of Emma. You know, it's still winter in Finland, so you can hear... What's aura auto? You can hear aura auto if you can, but yeah, it's still full on winter here. No spring inside. But yeah, this is a Chartwell Classics edition of Emma. I love this silhouette so much. The cover is purple. I love purple so much. And here's the... so loud. Joel got this me from Helsinki on a trip he once went, and he asked me if I wanted any bookish souvenirs, and then he got me this one. When Joel and I read Emma together, I read this edition. And I really love it. I love the size of the pages. I feel like it's very different from what page sizes are usually. I feel like the font is small, but readable. Yes, I love this edition so much. Then another Pride and Prejudice edition in English. Joel got me this as a birthday present from when we went to Estonia for my 26th birthday. It's so beautiful. It's a little heavy, which I absolutely love. I read this when Joel and I read Pride and Prejudice together. I love the flower illustration and how it pops off. It's a bit 3D almost. They don't really fit the story that well compared to my other Pride and Prejudice English edition, but I love it. The only downside is that the pages are plastic, but that's not even a big of a downside really. Very easy to read, silver edges, such a stunning edition. Okay, so I have 3 Penguin English Library paperback editions. Sanditon. I think this was from when I went to Manchester in 2022. I love these Penguin English Library editions. They're so sweet and minimalistic. And I think blue fits Sanditon really well. Then this is a recent one. This is from Düsseldorf when I went to visit my friend. I needed another copy of Persuasion in English because Joel and I plan to read it together. And as mentioned, compared to the spine on the other English edition, I mean, look at this floppy paperback. And the font size is great. Yes, I'm excited to read this. And then another bookish souvenir from Joel, Mansfield Park in English. I have 2 more copies of Mansfield Park in English, and I'll tell you more why. It happened completely by accident. So yes, these are the Penguins Classics editions I have, paperback editions I have of Jane Austen's books. I really love how they look together, but I'm not like seeking out to buy each of them in this edition because I have so many already. So here's another Mansfield Park, this time a black penguin classic. I really love the cover here. I feel like it fits the story well. This has a very different story compared to the other books. My sister was moving and she was gonna throw out a lot of things, and then I saw this amongst the things that she was going to give away, and I was like, why did you not give me this? So yes, this is my sister's old but very treasured part of my collection. So another Mansfield Park by Collector's Editions. I love this cover. I feel like it brings youthness to the story. Here's a little quote in the back. I love the golden details here and how like they reflect the story. Listen, okay, so I was in Helsinki for my 27th birthday, and this small bookshop had Jane Austen books, all of them I think, in this edition. They were 15 euros each. And I, for some reason, completely blacked out, I guess, and I bought this because I didn't remember that I already had 2 editions of Mansfield Park in English. I should have gone for Persuasion. But yeah, another copy of Mansfield Park. Font size is pretty decent. The pages, the marginals are very small. And then another Northanger Abbey from the same trip. Another quote in the back. I love the little illustration here. So yes, another collector's edition Jane Austen book. I do also have one Penguin Little Black classic from Jane Austen, The Beautiful Cassandra. I've read this once. Honestly, I don't remember much from it. I think this was from a Helsinki trip as well. I think this was €2 at the time. Alright, moving on to Finnish editions. So here's Mansfield Park in Finnish. And yeah, it is the movie cover of the 1999 film. I talked about this in a previous video, but in 2022 when I bought this, there were no other editions available at the time. And I really wanted to get to finishing my Jane Austen collection from English and Finnish editions, of course. So I took it and I have this movie cover edition now. If there is another Mansfield Park translation coming in, I would love that. So in Finnish, this is Kasvattitytön tarina, and it's translated by A.R. Koskimies. It's not bad. I've seen worse movie tie-ins, but yeah, not much to say on that. Next up, we have WSOY paperbacks. And each of these I bought because I wanted to finish my Finnish editions of Jane Austen books. I think Sense and Sensibility, Järki ja tunteet came in around the time Persuasion, the Netflix film, was released. This is translated by Aune Proterus. I like the color of it. I personally don't associate green or utensils with Sense and Sensibility, but I think it's a sweet cover. Very similar to these. Like, they're not very that related to the story, but it's a sweet looking cover. Then this was also released at the time of the Netflix Persuasion film coming out, if I remember correctly. So this is a little soft purple kind of cover, and I think the font is pretty readable. This is also translated by Anne Proterus. I love the butterflies. Even though they're not that related to the story, I love butterflies, so it's a stunning edition. And here is Northanger Abbey. This was released in 2023, and this was the book that completed my Jane Austen collection in English and in Finnish. This has been translated by Eila Pennanen. And if you compare to the Collins Classics version, this is very light. This is like soft yellow, while that one was very dark and purple. I think it's a sweet, lovely cover with flowers on it and so on. And okay, these last two Finnish editions are some of my favorites in the collection. They are so stunning, and they are brand new. So this is a translation of Pride and Prejudice. Look at that cover. It's stunning. And what makes it very special, not that the previous ones weren't special, but what makes this special is translated by Kersti Juva. So this is a brand new translation. Kersti Juva translated The Lord of the Rings into Finnish back when. So she's a big deal. She's an excellent translator. So I haven't read this yet, but I'm really excited about having this in my collection. And look at the cover details. Like, how stunning is that? They are done by Elina Varsta. Like, it so fits well with the story and, you know, like the characters, and then there's books and the little golden details here. Then here's the back cover. I absolutely love this. And the font size is very readable, I think. Look. Very easy to understand. The spacing is great. And the marginals are pretty decent size. It's so beautiful. Thank you, Theos, for this beautiful edition. Then, similarly, we have Sense and Sensibility, again translated by Kersti Juva. This is another very brand new addition to my collection. I bought this end of last year. I had a discount code that I got from my teachers union to Teos publishing company's website. So I used it, and when I saw that this was there and the fact that I got like discounts on it, I had to go for it. The cover shows all the main characters, and there's that scene with Marianne. Oh, it's beautiful. Color is kind of green-gray, which I'm not sure if I associate it with Sense and Sensibility. I think I associate like soft pinks with it the most, because that was the color of the first edition of Sense and Sensibility that I ever read. Well, Pride and Prejudice has gold details. This has silver. Very nice touch. And can I just say, the spine, absolutely stunning. It's just so beautiful. I'm really happy about having this one in my collection as well. Okay, so that was me talking about all of my Jane Austen books in very detailed manner. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I really appreciate you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed this one, and I hope I see you in the next one. Bye!